This is Salmonberry, and it is one of my favorite signs that spring is headed our way. These beautiful pink blossoms that appear pretty early in spring here in Washington State, a little bit later in Alaska. Johanna, come check out the Salmonberry blossom. Later on in the season, once the salmonberry is pollinated by bees or other insects or pollinators, there'll be a beautiful, delicious reddish purple or peachy yellow berry there, kind of like a raspberry or a blackberry. Have you eaten salmonberries before, Johanna? Do you like them?
Yes, I even like them with jam.
Yeah, I make a salmonberry jam that combines blueberries, salmonberries, and currants from up in Alaska, and it's one of our favorites. So the salmonberries themselves are delicious, and they can be great in jam or dried or eaten raw. They don't freeze very well. They get super mushy if you try to freeze them. The berries aren't the only part of the salmonberry that's edible. These new green shoots on the bush, you can see the thorns on it here. The shoots don't really have those hard thorns yet. They haven't invested in that protection yet. And so you can actually eat those new shoots of growth, and they're pretty delicious, and they taste a little bit like cucumbers, but you want to make sure that you only take one or two from each shrub so that you're not damaging the whole salmonberry bush. This is another really cool plant. This is red elderberry, and red elderberry is one of my favorite to teach about when I'm teaching ethnobotany, because it is all at the same time edible, poisonous, and medicinal. Now let's talk about first how it's poisonous. The leaves and the stems, and especially the inner bark and the roots, have two toxins in them. One of them causes a lot of vomiting, which sounds pretty bad, but compared to the other one, it's pretty good. The other one is hydrocyanic acid, which can cause cyanide poisoning. So if you were to eat a lot of the bark or the roots of the elderberry, you could have cyanide poisoning, which limits your body's ability to transport oxygen and can be deadly if you consume enough of it. So please don't eat the bark or the roots or the stems of the elderberry. So even though the stem and the bark and some of the leaves and the roots can be toxic, there are parts of the plant that are edible, and one of those parts is the flowers. This is before the flowers, the blooms come out. This is the buds of the elderberry, but it'll have lots of tiny white flowers, and those flowers are edible. I think they taste a little bit like vanilla, and some people add them to pancakes, or you can make a tea out of them, or I've even heard of frying them up and eating them kind of like a clam fritter. I've tried that once before, and it was okay. But my favorite part of the elderberry is the berry itself. Now this gets really tricky because the seeds of the elderberry are toxic. They contain that chemical that causes vomiting, but the berries are edible. So if you cook the berries and strain out the seeds, you can make a jelly out of it, or you can make a syrup out of it. And the berries are thought to have a lot of properties that help with our immune systems. So there are actually commercial products that you can buy made out of red elderberry, but especially out of black elderberry or blue elderberry, that are said to help boost your immune system. And I buy those sometimes, but sometimes I also make my own syrup out of the red elderberries themselves. And so that's one of the medicinal uses of this plant. The other one is the leaves have a very strong smell to them. And it smells a little bit sour, I guess. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it has a very distinct smell to it, and that scent can help to act as an insect repellent. And so sometimes when I'm hiking, I like to tuck them behind my ear like this, but elderberry branches have also been used in dairies and things like that to keep flies away from the milk. So they work pretty well as an insect repellent. So this is the plant I was looking at down there, red elderberry. Do you want to give it a quick little sniff? What does it smell like to you?
It smells sort of like... It smells like really strong.
Yeah, I was at a loss for descriptions too. Do you think it would chase bugs away?
Yes.
Yeah, it makes for a really good insect repellent. Can I tuck it in your hair to keep the mosquitoes away? Yeah. It might look a little bit silly, but it really does work. Now,
does it look silly?
Maybe a little bit.